First beardless video, and I'm still pretty unhappy about it. I have somehow managed to simultaneously make myself look younger but also look like I've aged terribly at the same time. I look like a middle-aged child. But what I'm going to talk about is the scumbag Wall Street Journal, their scumbag journalists, and also their scumbag tactics. It all started when they launched an attack on PewDiePie, hoping to get everyone on board with hating the big bad Scandinavian Nazi. The articles themselves were immediately discredited and absolutely ripped apart by the entire YouTube community, because anyone who has even watched a few minutes of PewDiePie's videos knows for a fact that he is not a Nazi. PewDiePie is a Scandinavian edgelord. And a funny one at that. He's not a Scandinavian Nazi. Scandinavian Nazis aren't really edgelords, but they will show you the most one-sided match of Battle Royale you've ever seen. The Wall Street Journal also went after JonTron and wrote a bunch of articles discrediting YouTube as a whole. The only thing that Wall Street Journal managed to achieve was getting itself now known worldwide throughout the internet as a fake and untrustworthy news source. They printed complete lies, absolute falsehoods and cherry-picked facts in order to push the narrative that they wanted. And because of that, Wall Street Journal have completely ruined any chance they had at all of having any grasp on younger audiences. Because of the way that they've done this, and they've attacked the people that younger audiences love and listen to, the Wall Street Journal has now completely discredited itself among younger audiences, and it now has no chance of gaining their support. I think the attack was launched from a place of jealousy, because Wall Street Journal doesn't have even 1% of the pool that YouTube does as a whole, and I think this entire attack was so that Wall Street Journal could discredit major YouTubers and discredit the platform as a whole, so that Wall Street Journal could try and claw back some of the power that YouTube had when it comes to younger audiences. But all that achieved was Wall Street Journal have dug themselves a good few feet deeper in their own grave. They've lost the younger audiences and they have absolutely no chance of getting them now. A lot of young people go to YouTube for their news sources and not lying archaic newspapers, especially ones that have been caught lying over and over again, and they refuse time and time again to correct their own lies even when they've been exposed as lying. What Wall Street Journal should have done is accepted that they were wrong and walked away. At that point, they might have earned a little bit of respect from everyone for actually acknowledging their mistakes and acknowledging that they were wrong to print complete lies and try and damage the careers of people. They would have maybe earned a little bit of respect back for acknowledging their mistakes. But what they decided to do instead, as their final act as a dying newspaper, instead of being the bigger men and just admitting they were wrong, they instead wanted to make sure that if they go down, they try and take YouTube with them. So what they're doing is they're finding racist videos on YouTube, finding the adverts that are showing on these racist videos, contacting the companies of those adverts and trying to get them to pull their ads from YouTube. It isn't only the Wall Street Journal and the fucking absolute scumbag journalists that are doing this. There is another man who's working with the Wall Street Journal to get this pushed ahead. What has happened is he's actually wrote a program or an algorithm or something along those lines that can actually flag and identify extremist videos, and he's actually patented this software, and he has patented it in a way that Google will not be able to create a similar software that does the same thing without violating his patent. He's basically engineered it so that Google have a gun to their fucking head and he's the one with his finger on the trigger. Buy my fucking patent or your company will fall. And he's engineered the fall to push them into actually giving this fucker money. So this guy basically engineered it so that thousands and thousands of YouTubers would make a lot less money just so that he could financially gain himself. He's basically extorting money from Google. That's exactly what he's done. And in the process, fucked over thousands of people. But this guy obviously doesn't give a fuck about that. He only cares about his own wallet. And the guy's name is Eric Feinberg. Feinberg. I don't want to talk about this, moving on. Here's the funny thing about YouTube. It can be used by anyone. Paedophiles post on it, racists post on it, Nazis post on it, furries post on it. When a medium allows access to every single person in society, then eventually the undesirables from that society will use it as well. Any social media platform can be considered in the same way as any society. In society, if you go out actively looking for racists, Nazis, pedos, etc., then you will find them because they exist. It's the exact same story with any social media platform that's open to everyone. So I have absolutely no idea why the Wall Street Journal were apparently so shocked at finding it. Breaking news, Wall Street Journal looked for a thing that exists. We were shocked when we found it. So what Ben Fritz and Jack Nikas and all the other Wall Street Journal faggots have been spending all of their time doing is typing racist words into YouTube and refreshing the page, taking a note of every single advert that appears, and then contacting the owners of these adverts to encourage them to pull their ads from YouTube. Basically, Wall Street Journal won't meet any of us in the open field. They won't meet us in debate. They won't discuss the lies they printed. They won't even engage in a conversation with us because they know that they would get ripped apart. They know they've been completely discredited as a news source, and they know that their newspaper is failing. This is just the final horrific, shitty, scumbag act of a failing newspaper. Remember when you played Call of Duty and there's always that fucking faggot that had last stand mode on, and when you thought you killed him, he would pull his gun out and shoot you right before he died? That's what this is. This is Wall Street Journal's last stand to fuck every one of us over before they go under. Because they know they can't beat us in arguments, they know they can't beat us in debates, they know that if they actually discussed any of their articles with us, we would just be able to pick them apart, destroy them and make them look like fools. So what they've done instead of meeting in a fair debate, they've decided to do this absolute scumbag underhand technique, which is a testament to how the Wall Street Journal reporters actually think and act. They're disgusting, disgraceful fucking people. So they've decided to use this really underhand and scumbag technique that was actually explained to me by a fellow YouTuber called Laughing Ogre, and it's called breaking your rice bowl. Sort of a euphemism for taking away your ability to eat, in other words, attacking your finances. See, when you have the internet community, literally the largest community in the world, telling you that you are wrong, what you should do is accept that you are wrong and walk away. Try and maintain that little bit of dignity that you've got left. What you don't do is refuse to accept defeat and instead try and fuck over everyone on the platform by attacking them financially, by just using these underhanded, scumbag, shitty, disgusting fucking methods, which this entire act is just a huge testament to the way you guys think. You're actually disgusting fucking people. So because Wall Street Journal had a huge problem with literally a tiny portion of YouTubers, Wall Street Journal decided to deploy a tactic to just wipe out everyone. Even people who have absolutely nothing to do with taboo subjects or edgy humour, things like fucking makeup channels and shit like that, everyone has been affected. So, because Wall Street Journal had an issue with a tiny group of people, they decided to go full scorched earth and torch the entire fucking thing. Let's just feel a little bit thankful that Wall Street Journal aren't involved in our government in any way. We have a problem with ISIS, who occupy this tiny region in Iraq and Syria. Nuke the entire fucking thing. Wall Street Journal basically had a petty grudge against a small amount of YouTubers, but it had its super weapon where it could get ads pulled from YouTube. Now obviously if they did that, it would affect every single person on the website, even people that they don't have a fucking problem with and people who have nothing to do with politics or anything or edgy humour or anything like that at all. Wall Street Journal knew what they were doing would affect every single person on the website, and they still did it, because fuck these thousands of other people who we have absolutely no problem with. They're going to have to suffer so we can attack this small handful of people. And this act is what the Wall Street Journal is always going to be remembered for, because the Wall Street Journal is dying. Wall Street Journal does not have the younger audiences. It's all older and sometimes the very old audiences that the Wall Street Journal kind of has any clout with, and they'll all be fucking dead soon. And as soon as all these old readers and old people die, so does the Wall Street Journal. It would be nice though if the Wall Street Journal could go sooner. I mean, just have a look at these quite offensive and quite racist tweets posted by its own reporters. You know, making Wall Street Journal's own reporters guilty of the exact same thing that the Wall Street Journal's fucking complaining about. We absolutely hate people that joke about racism and Nazism. Yeah, well why do you fucking hire them then? Let's look at these tweets the same way that Wall Street Journal looks at YouTube content. These aren't edgy humour. These aren't just a bit of fun. These aren't someone just having a laugh. These are downright racist and anti-Semitic tweets, and Ben Fritz, by the Wall Street Journal's own definition, is a Nazi. I don't want to be paying a Nazi's wages, do you? It really would be a shame if people managed to track down subscribers and other sources of income from the Wall Street Journal, showed them these tweets and let them know that their hard-earned money is going to pay the wages of racists and anti-Semites. Also, Jack Nikas, the guy who's sitting patting himself on the back at getting ads pulled from YouTube, he's basically celebrating the fact that he's fucked over thousands of people. I want you to come away from your computer just now. I want you to stop typing nigger and kike and faggot etc into YouTube trying to get more ads pulled, because I've got a bit of a personal message for you. The Wall Street Journal will not be forever. It will fail, and your actions are what put the wheels in motion towards that. You're also now one of the most hated men in the world, hated by the internet community, literally the largest community in the fucking world. Now, your job in the Wall Street Journal won't last forever, but that hate will. So, Jack Nikas, when you're jobless and you're sitting in that dingy little hotel room, your teeth just clenched right around a fucking shotgun barrel with your toe resting on the trigger, and you're trying to build up the courage to paint the room with your tiny little shit-filled fucking brain, just remember that you're not going to be remembered for your journalism integrity or decency. You're going to be remembered as the guy that broke the rice bowls of thousands of people who did absolutely nothing to you, just so that you could attack a small group of people within their ranks. You will always be remembered as that guy. That's what your legacy is. Cunt. As for the whole financial area of YouTube, people are promoting their Patreons. Some people are getting angry at people promoting their Patreons. But it's a case of, if you want to promote your Patreon, you can do that. If you want to subscribe to someone's Patreon, you can do that. That's your business, no one's forcing you, you do you. I have a Patreon that I set up months ago due to my last job's pay being really shit. I'm still going to keep it active, but I'm just not going to promote it, because with this new job, I'm now completely financially fine. I'm not in any trouble, so I'm fine, don't worry about it. A lot of people have said that they're going to have to leave YouTube and go get a full-time job because YouTube is no longer going to be viable as a primary source of income. But like, I have a real job. And even my previous job took up a lot of time, and I still have time to do YouTube. Although with this new job I won't be able to work on the channel as much as I used to, I'm still going to make videos and still keep uploading, but it just might not be as frequent. I mean, even if you get a job, you aren't working 24 hours a day. You still will have free time, so you have time to do YouTube. But if you were only in this for the money and you want to rage quit because of that, then that's your business, you do you. I understand that an 18-year-old who still lives with his parents and has very few responsibilities is going to be able to generate a lot more content than, say, a 40-year-old who's married, has 2 kids, has a mortgage and a full-time job. I get that, but it's a case of, that's just a sad fact of life. The older you get, the less free time you have, and even if you did love doing YouTube and you can't do it as much as you used to because you now have to get a full-time job, that's just a harsh reality of life. Life isn't fair. I should know. Look at this fucking hairline. Life wasn't very fair to me. I understand that overall content frequency and probably even quality will drop, but if you love what you do, you should still find time to do it, even if you have less time. What I would ask is, even if your channel gets fucked because you're not earning enough money, if you loved making videos and you love doing what you do in your channel, then you should keep doing it. You should persevere. If you were only in it for a paycheck, then you can leave, that's fine. Nobody's going to force you to stay. But if you enjoy doing YouTube and you enjoy what you do, then persevere. That way, even if everyone perseveres and continues making content, it means the Wall Street Journal don't win. To me personally, the money from YouTube is just a bonus, and it isn't very much money. The Nazi pug guy gets no shekels. I do this more just because it's fun. I like interacting and meeting people. I think it's pretty cool that I've managed to meet and speak to big YouTubers that I've actually watched for a long time. Most of all though, I really enjoy annoying people. I fucking love it. I really enjoy pissing people off. Also, I'm kind of hoping that I get really YouTube famous and I get to meet Anita Sarkeesian. I'm a really big fan. I'm hoping that one day we can meet up, go for a few drinks, and then I can fill our wage gap with my big white veiny male privilege.
It's Count Dankula on YouTube. Everybody should subscribe.
This is just sort of a channel update moving forward. I'm in the process of starting this new job, and I'm also in the process of moving house. So my schedule and everything is going to be completely fucked over the next few weeks at least, which means that I'm still going to try my best to make content and make videos. It's just a case of it's not going to be anywhere near as frequent. I'm not going to be able to do weekly uploads anymore. That's just not viable. I'm just going to sort of do it as a as and when sort of process. But apart from that, I'm now financially stable. I'm actually more than financially stable. Like, this job that I got solves so many fucking problems. You've no idea. So I've managed to get a house, I've managed to get a really good job. The only thing I need to do now is not go to fucking prison, because that would ruin all of that. Basically, I've managed to overcome all of these obstacles, and there's just one big obstacle left to go. And that's happening in May. Fucking bring it. You've got nothing.